Alright guys, so in this video we're going to look at car loans and talk about financing of cars and how we would pay back those loans. And so the formula we see here is called the regular payment amount, and so this kind of tells us how much our regular payments would be towards a loan, where P equals the amount of the loan, R is your rate, N is the number of times per year that loan is paid, and then T is the number of years you pay that loan. And so if we just look at this problem, it says suppose that you borrow $12,000 for 3 years at 5% towards the purchase of a car. You want to find the monthly payments and then the total interest for that loan. And so all we have to do is just plug in into this formula. So we have PMT equals my loan amount borrowed, so 12,000, times R, which is 0.05, divided by N, which again is 12 because we're paying this monthly, so 12 months in a year. And then we're going to divide that by 1 minus 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12 again. And then we have negative 12 times T, which in this case is 3. Alright, now we're just going to simplify this guy up as much as possible, and you want to make sure again when you round or when you see decimals you don't round unless you just have to, or you want to try to make sure that's the last thing you do is round at the very end. So we have PMT equals 12,000 times 0.05 divided by 12 is 50. Alright, now on the bottom I'm going to simplify the 1 plus 0.05 divided by 12 raised to the negative 36 power first. So I'm going to get 1 minus, so 0.05 divided by 12 plus 1 raised to the negative 36. Well, that's going to give me 0.86096762. And I'm going to stop there. There's a few more decimal places, but I think we'll be safe here. And so now we just calculate this. So we have our PMT equals 50 divided by 1 minus that decimal, and that gives me 0.1390,238. And now if we do the final calculation, we get a monthly payment of $359.65. Okay, rounding to the nearest cent is always the last thing you want to do. So that's our monthly payment. So now the second part of the question says you want to find the total interest for the loan. So what we have to do is we got to figure out how much we pay all total, and then subtract that from the 12,000, and that will give me the interest amount. Well, if we pay $359.65 for each month for 5 years, or excuse me, for 3 years, that's a total of 36 months that we're paying for on this loan. And so we're going to take our payment amount, which is $359.65, and we're going to times that by 36, because that's how many payments we'll make within this within those 3 years. And multiply those two numbers, we get $12,947.40. So that's how much total we'll pay over the 3 years. Now remember, we only borrowed $12,000. So if we take this amount and subtract it from $12,000, that will give me the amount of interest I paid on the loan. So subtracting these gives me $947.40, and that would be the interest amount. So we borrowed $12,000, but we had to pay back $12,947.40. So that $947.40 is the interest. Alright, this problem says suppose that you're thinking about buying a car and have narrowed down your choices to 2 options. You have the new car option, which the new cars cost $30,000. It can be financed with a 5-year loan at 7.02%. Or you have the used car option, which says a 3-year-old model of the same car costs $15,000 and can be financed for a 5-year loan at 7.95%. What we want to find is what's the difference in monthly payments between financing the new car and financing the used car. This is something we all probably face this decision at least once in our life is, when we're looking for a car, do I go the new car route, the used car route, and which one's the better price over the time? And so we're going to be able to determine that. So first, what we have to do is, we're asked to find the difference between the monthly payments, and so we got to find the monthly payments for each car. So I'm going to start with the new car option, find its monthly payment, and then we'll find that of the used car option. Alright, so I'm going to plug into my regular payment amount formula. So for the new car, okay, so we're going to do new car first. Alright, so this is for the new car. So we have 30,000, so my regular payment amount, my PMT, equals 30,000 times my rate, which is 0.0702, divided by your N. Again, your N is the number of payments per year. This is the monthly payment, so my N would be 12. Now we're going to divide that. 1 minus 1 plus R, which again is 0.0702 over 12. And then we're going to raise that to the negative N, so negative 12 times T, which this one says is going to be financed for 5 years. Alright, so that gives me a PMT of 30,000 times 0.0702 divided by 12. Alright, that gives me 175.5 on top. And now I'm just going to calculate the whole entire bottom together as a whole first. Alright, so first thing I did, I just did 0.0702 divided by 12. Added 1 to that, then raised that to the negative 60th power, and then I subtracted that value from 1, and I got 0.295. I'm going to write out a lot of decimals. I don't want to round yet. So 2952992. Let's go back. So we have 0.2952959. 218. Again, it's very important that we don't round until the very end. So now to find that regular payment amount for the new car, we're just going to divide these two numbers, and when we do that, we get $594. Again, round to the nearest cent because we're talking about money, so 32 cents. That's my regular payment amount for the new car. Okay, now let's go look at the regular payment amount for the used car option. Alright, so again, for the used car, we're just going to find that regular payment amount. So PMT equals the P, which in this case is the 15,000. And then we have our R, which our R in this case is 0.0795 divided by 12. And then over 1 minus 1 plus 0.0795 divided by 12. And then that's going to be raised to the negative N times T, which again is a 5-year loan. Alright, so we're going to calculate this out. I'm going to do the top by itself. I'm going to do the bottom by itself. Alright, so for the top we get 99.375. And then for the bottom we get 0.327125361. Again, I didn't round yet. I don't want to round yet. And so now we're going to divide those two to get the regular payment amount. Again, this is for the used car option. And we get $303.79. So that's my monthly payment amount for the used car option. Now we're ready to answer the question of what is the difference in monthly payments between financing the new car and financing the used car. Okay, so for the new car we got $594.32. So $594.32, and then we're going to minus the used car monthly payment, which is $303.79, and the difference there we find is we get $290.53, and that's the difference in monthly payments between a new car option and the used car option.